Good morning. Off to work again. Time for a little bit more of a chat about D&D. For those of you just tuning in, I'm Casey. Been playing D&D since the 80s. Played just about every edition there is. Wouldn't touch 4th edition with a 10-foot pole. That's beside the point. And I spend a lot of time in my car, so I figured why not take a few minutes out of every day while I'm driving and talk about Dungeons and Dragons. And I figured if I'm gonna sit and talk to myself about Dungeons and Dragons, why not post it on YouTube and see if anyone else gets any sense out of it. So if you do, please like, comment, let me know what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, whatever. Today I thought I'd give a little bit of a chat about 5e. Specifically, some of the mechanics in 5e. Some of them good, some of them bad, some of them debatable. And just my opinions on them as compared to previous systems. Starting out, the big one to me, advantage. The advantage-disadvantage system. A lot of people love it. A lot of people love it. I don't love it. To be honest, I use it just because it's what the players seem to prefer because it's easy, but it just lacks finesse. It's simple, it's easy to understand, there's no complexity to it at all. You either have advantage, or you don't have advantage, or you have disadvantage. It's not great to me. 3rd edition had straight up number bonuses. You get +2 for this, or +5 for this, or +10 for this. A lot of people argue that meant that you could stack bonuses. I don't know why that was a bad thing, but a lot of people said that was a problem. I think just because it made the numbers a bit bigger, and people were worried about stat inflation, I guess. I don't know. In the last decade or so, there seems to be this trend of people worrying about games having big numbers. I don't know why. I mean, if we go back a bit further, 2nd edition had a lot more bonuses than 3rd edition did. 3rd edition actually streamlined it quite a bit. And with that, what you still had was you had scalability. This bonus gives you a bonus of 2 to your roll, but this other bonus gives you a bonus of 10 to your roll. You actually could figure out different situations called for different types of modifiers. It wasn't just kind of a one-size-fits-all generic, oh yeah, you have advantage. And that's the problem with it to me. There is no way to scale it. I mean, if you look at it mathematically, rolling 2 die 20, taking the best of them, you average out the rolls, and what you are looking at is advantage, gives you a +4 bonus. I'm rounding a bit there, so it's not precise. It could be anywhere from +3 to +5, depending on how you actually weight the averages, but still, if we go with +4, that means for any situation where you're really good at something, or you've really worked to get yourself into a positive position, you get +4. Sorry about that. I've been fighting off a cold for a while now. So, I mean, yeah, +4. All the time. Every time. It's again, it's easy. Yeah, fine. But I just don't think it's suitable. Anyway, I'll move on from that one now. I think I've been fairly clear on my issues with Advantage. The other thing I wanted to talk about is Feats. Now, I think 5e has done something both incredible and incredibly bad with Feats at the same time, which I have to say to Wizards of the Coast is impressive. To manage to get both ends of the spectrum there in one mechanic, you know, thumbs up to you. Good job. Couldn't have imagined it. What do I like about the new Feats? They're meaningful. You don't have 5 billion Feats. Now, I will argue that there should be more than there are. Just because, well, they should be used. And there should be feats that fit playstyles. And some of the Unearthed Arcana have come out and introduced more feats, and some of those are great. I'll get onto some of those specific ones as well later, but that's the great thing about them. Feats mean something. They are important. They're powerful. Excuse me again. The other issue with them, my problem with them, the thing that is incredibly bad in my opinion, is that they're an option that's tacked on. You have to give up something else in order to get an optional feat if your DM allows you to take feats. No. That's wrong. It's just wrong. Feats should not be a, yeah, if your DM says so, whatever. Feats should be an integral part of the game. If anything, make sure all of the feats have some kind of a stat increase, and then get rid of the stat increases and have feats. That way you're still getting some kind of a stat bump, which a lot of the feats give anyway, but you're putting the feats back into the core of the game. Now that's something that I've considered doing, and I haven't discussed with my own gaming group yet, but that's just because I've got so many homebrew rules that I haven't gotten around to introducing half of them. But no, feats, the feats as they are written are, as a whole, good. They just need to be not an add-on. They need to be integrated into the main game. Moving on then to some specific feats, what I was mentioning before. The Unearthed Arcana feats. There's two groups of them out now. There's the feats for skills and the feats for races. Now, mixed feelings on these again. Feats seems to be the thing I say mixed feelings about the most. I usually am pretty sure how I feel about things, but these seem to challenge that a bit. So we'll start out with the feats for skills. About 90% of these, not worth taking. There's no point. Most of the skills that they're tied to, if a player attempted to do that action that the feat allows without having the feat, I'd just set a DC and roll for it. It's not, that's how you use skills anyway. You don't need a feat that says, oh, I'm really athletic so I can balance on a tightrope, or acrobatic rather. You know, you're really acrobatic. Okay, try to balance on a tightrope. You did it. You know, it doesn't take a genius. The other ones, the feats for races. Some of them I actually really like. Really like them. But if I ever do start to really use them, I plan on using them a little bit differently. Because a lot of them are very nice, flavorful things for your race, but not necessarily something that you want to wait till 4th level and give up a stat bump for. So if I ever do start to use them, and what I would recommend to any DM who might decide to listen to my ramblings, is if you're going to include them, let every character pick one racial feat at 1st level. Just give it to them as a bonus. Say, you know what? You're a halfling. Pick one of the halfling feats. Now, I know some of the races, Dragonborn, a couple others, have 2 or 3 feats. Obviously, don't give them all of them, but let them pick a feat. What feature of the Dragonborn do you represent? Do you have as part of your makeup? You know, maybe that's part of why they became an adventurer. Maybe not all Dragonborn have this, but they did, and it made them special, and it's part of why they became who they are, or what they are, or, you know, part of why they sought out to do what they were doing. So, that's my advice on that. We're already running a bit longer than normal today, so I'll wrap it up there for the moment. So, advantage, not my favorite. Feats, good and bad. I like numbers. That's pretty much the summary for today. If you enjoyed it, like I said, leave me a like, leave me a comment, and I'll probably see you tomorrow. Have a good day.